Construction shopping center in the Metro East is bringing in over 20 new businesses and restaurants. It's all centered around a new Meijer supermarket that's being built in Glen Carbon, Illinois, the first of its kind in the bi-state. First Alert 4's Marshall Farmer is live there with what's in store. Hey, Marshall.
Morgan, even though many of these businesses are still under construction here in Glen Carbon, thousands of people are still flocking to the businesses that are open. The developer here tells me as well that the building goes well beyond what you see. Here in Glen Carbon, it's hard to miss this 250,000 square foot shopping center that's under construction. With 21 new businesses slated to be added by the end of its construction, the main question is, how many of those businesses will be brand new to the region? We've previously reported about Meijer moving in, but it's not the only business that's bringing new options to the Metro East that are otherwise scarce or non-existent.
When we looked at this market and we put the project together, one of the goals of the project was not to relocate existing businesses within the market, but bring new to market tenants here to Glen Carbon.
The project began in 2020 with goals to help people living in the Metro East avoid having to drive to Missouri for certain stores and restaurants. Now, Tim Lowe says the project has entered its final phase, negotiating with other businesses to fill the few remaining lots.
We have about 4 or 5 lots that are remaining. Of those 4 or 5 lots, we're in deep negotiations with 3, either restaurant users or fast food users to come in.
Soon to arrive, Shake Shack, which has no stores on the Illinois side of the bi-state, along with Longhorn Steakhouse. Several other businesses here only have one other location on the east side of the river, mainly in Edwardsville, roughly half an hour away. Already, filling these gaps have proven a success.
Chick-fil-A has done extremely well, Dick's has done extremely well, Panda's done extremely well. Shake Shack wanted to be here and we waited for them. I mean, this wasn't about trying to fill the lots up as fast as we can. It was really about a conscious effort to create the best quality retail tenants we could bring to the market. And if it took us another couple of years to be able to do that, we wanted to do that. And I think it doesn't just benefit Glen Carbon, which did an unbelievably great job in helping us get this project to move forward, but it also benefits Edwardsville and the community in general. I mean, it provides something in the market that's not here that they can now shop and they can enjoy.
Now we're told that Meijer will be opening in spring of 2027 along with that Shake Shack and that Longhorn Steakhouse. We're also told a, quote, special tenant is in talks with developers here that may bring both new retail and food options to the project. Now the full shopping center will be completed by the end of 2028. In Glen Carbon, Marshall Farmer, First Alert 4.